friendos, welcome back. Hey, Spacey and Eben and Static and Cetho and Emerlin. I forgot about Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Also, I'm sorry that I made you sit in 8 minutes of complete silence, but with the Stanley Parable, I kind of expected somebody to start talking the instant that I start the game, so I didn't want to miss anything or have you guys miss anything, so I figured we would just sit here in silence and stare at each other. And by each other, I mean Twitter. What?
No, coming to watch.
Oh, you're coming to watch? You're coming to watch live? I think you have to pay extra for that. Yes, it's still a green screen. You just never get tired of the fact that a green screen works. Love you. You just got Go Outside? Awesome. We did that this year, right? Like maybe last year?
I think so.
We did it recently. We got Go Outside recently. Well, I'm just excited that he's drinking the low sugar kind. Sorry, I'm giving away your secrets. Anyway. Good already.
Oh.
I'm having a great time. Oh, okay, so I would have been okay if I had started the game, but you still would have been sitting here in silence, so I don't apologize.
That's Ella.
Wow. Oh, I forgot to stop Discord. Sorry, Baker. Sorry, Baker. Oh, you're right. They do.
Only 6.
Well, yeah, one of them you literally have to hack. Oh yeah, I haven't played it for the entire duration of a Tuesday. I guess I haven't done speedrun. I really did You Can't Jump? I swear I thought I did You Can't Jump. And I haven't fucking gone in the game files to get Unachievable.
2021. Almost a year and a month.
Oh, 2021. Right, yeah, okay. So yeah. Back in the... when we were not going to work. English. Confirm. Yes. I probably should have said no. Can you guys see the computer? Streams are always so dark. I'm always afraid that you guys can't see anything. I just watch too many horror games and I'm like, cool, this black screen is really fun. I'm scared. Oh god. I don't know what fucking time it is. I could have turned it down. Oh well, that's fine. I hate the next door neighbor. I really just do. Okay. Recursive! Let me capture my OBS screen and make it worse! Trying to see if we can hear anything. Okay. I guess we checked settings, right? Maybe we'll increase field of view a little. I'm so excited.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
What? I've played the Stanley Parable. I want to see what happens.
Gonna give him a heart attack.
I want to break the game immediately. You all know why you're here. You know what game this is. Read my system clock. What is this, one shot? Where it calls me by my real name? That was very jarring. Fucking got doxxed by a computer. I'm sure it says something. I just don't know if I'm gonna be patient enough to wait for it. I feel like it's been a full minute already. Perfect, Static, perfect. Hey, Walker. Okay, now it's definitely been 1 minute because I looked at my timer. Fine. Guess we'll play the game. What is jump? I also don't remember which door it was. It's 4:30, right?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
No, it was 5.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
I still have that click macro, don't I? Not macro. The click.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement
Ready.
to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417? Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
I don't think we're getting an achievement out of this at all.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so. Now, back to door number 437. Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
It really shaped my expectation for a lot of tongue-in-cheek video games.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk. Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Hey, Spacey.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
I don't remember the one with the computers. I think it's just turn them off. Okay, I don't know if I just spent like $16 to play the same game that I've played before. So I guess we will find out together. Although it is on sale, so at least I spent a sale amount of money. Oh, new endings? Okay. Oh, okay, good, good.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
The first time I do this, every time I always go to the right because I'm such a jerk. I'm sure everybody's a jerk. Oh, shoot. Sorry, Dab. I'll try it again. Hey, Jesse Evans. I am excited. Let's, I suppose, listen to him for once.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Get Chris out of the broom closet. Hire someone to synergize papers. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. Who moved my desk? This is also what made me, I think, what sparked my love of reading of offices. Now that was Portal, but I just TPS report. I just fucking love reading this nonsensical set dressing in every game. I love it. I love it so much. What do people want? Things! Money! More money. Things, but with money to make more things? Graphs? Graphs about things and money. Rate at which charts on the same slide rate of increasing graphs per slide. What is hot? Profits. Please no more charts, please, I'm begging. On your boss appreciation minute worksheet, circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Fill out in triplicate and return to your boss appreciation specialist. Monetize free to play. We've done that. We did that. That's done. We accomplished it. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Weekly targets, marketing Mondays. This box is too small. Office party. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive-aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Accurate. Hey, Blom.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Oh, meeting's stuck. Sorry, Blom. Oh
It
no.
was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet?
You've never seen
Standing
it.
around
It's so
doing
good.
nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities.
He
It's
says.
indicative of the
Your.
long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
I think that's it. Pretty sure.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Extreme bathrooms. Well, it's not a good game still, unfortunately.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I thought it was the phone. Is it the keypad?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know
There we
that
go.
the combination was 2845.
Oh, wait. I just got my first achievement. I got my first achievement before. Game.
2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into
Well, I broke the
newly
game.
opened
Success.
passageway. Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
This is so hard.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
No, I mean, it's so hard to listen to the... Usually when I play this, I never get... I don't... The first time... I have to, like, fight with myself to actually listen to the narrator. Which... I mean, there are great things when you do that, but it's just... I would recommend... Yet I say no backseating. I would recommend, if you're playing the Stanley Parable, just play along the first time. That's... I know that's coming from me, who wants to break every experience, every interaction, but...
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place, where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Thank you so much, Blom, for that resub. I really appreciate it.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley. You didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself? Is that what you want?
Hey, Rose.
Control?
Take care.
Oh, Stanley.
I'm sorry, I should have.
Your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley?
Oh shit, is it 052?
Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
I didn't play by the rules until the end. I just couldn't.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Don't remember. I feel like this is relatively intuitive. I think it's just turn the computers on and then turn the computers off, and then every time you come through you get another, you can interact with that one an additional time. I-O-U D-I-E-D. D-I-E-D. Thank you. Shit, where? What is, it must be in the first room. There's no other windows.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Gotta be here. There it is.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map.
And then at this
until
point,
he heard
everybody
this
goes, "Fuck!"
narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes.
I just love it.
So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected Continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Should we do the other option?
All of his co-workers were gone. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth?
That shouldn't happen again.
No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally
Dragon, thank you so much for that resub. 13 months. I really appreciate it.
So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
I have not noticed any other differences. Was the door different? I actually don't remember. I feel like it was... Did it not drag you around quite so much last in the original?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Huh.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Does
Perhaps
anybody
he had
remember
simply
how to
missed a
get
memo.
we disabled jump or whatever? I don't remember. Because I can't jump unless jump is a button that I'm not aware of.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Apple. It is just not available.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
This is unsafe. The step is like... It's too high to not... It's too high to be a single step.
Yes.
And it doesn't have any kind of handrail.
Really worth it being
And it's
here in the
unnecessary.
room. A room so
Just
utterly
saying, OSHA.
captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left. Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Thank you. Ooh, I can't. Oh, there we go. Nope, that didn't work either. Sorry. Probably is. I feel like it's gotta be. But I don't remember what it is, so if we get to the point and I... Don't worry about spoiling that for me.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing in your trust, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Well, it's not that one.
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
I remember the phone ringing. I don't remember what it said. That seems like what it probably said. Where is my input computer? Because I think if I do it wrong, I have to start over. I guess there isn't one this time. Maybe there isn't one the time that... I think there isn't one the time the phone rings.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Huh? I got what? What did I get? Was it an achievement? Because my water bottle was in the way. I got no jumps? Oh, it was climbing the ladder? Fuck. My water bottle was in the way of the fucking achievement place. Damn it. Big brain. Did it.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
I don't know. I think they had to give him, like, a very complete and thorough breakdown because he's just so good about everything.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Wonder, are these real? Is this real?
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Was there something with this?
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain?
Love this
Let's
part.
see. What do we have here?
Love this so much.
Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
Well, here's our new
Well,
content.
It seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower.
What game
Perhaps
is
for some
this?
sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a
Firewatch?
fascinating venture into the experience of
Is
total
Firewatch
mental
good?
depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
I've never played Firewatch. I'm gonna put that on my radar. Anything that Stanley wants to, you know, make a joke out of, I'm interested. This was Minecraft, right? I'm not going crazy. I'm not having an aneurysm. This was Minecraft, right? Okay. Was it the Minecraft door sound? Goddamn. That's great. Well, when did... I mean, Minecraft definitely had... Yes, I agree with you, but Minecraft definitely had a lot fewer things in it when Stanley originally came out.
Oh no. No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable
If it's getting
walls.
over it, I'm gonna scream.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing. Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design.
I hope I get run over by a car.
Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we
Yeah,
do
right,
here?
Grid?
Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
It literally says rocket. Oh, God. Time to slam a spleebly. Spleebly. I don't play Rocket League. Is that an actual Rocket League thing, or is this... Are we slamming spleeblies in Rocket League? No, I still can't jump. I keep trying.
Hold on.
Oh!
What are you doing?
Sorry, guys. Crap. I'm actually upset about that. I want to see if there's more.
Don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
This was a triumph. Making a note here. Huge success. Oh, crap.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in...
Okay, so we have to
wherever
do
he
that
is
one
right
again.
now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me.
Sign? What was the
Someone
sign?
who will wrap
Shit,
everything
sorry.
up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very
F-I-R-E-W-A-T-C-H.
soon. I can wait.
E-T-C-H. Oof. I'm getting bad. I'm starting to lose it. I gotta really do something with it.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Well, there's our cardboard boxes. Oh, you're right. Sorry, F. W-A-T-C-H. There is.
Oh, New content? What does that mean, new content?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if them... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
I hate this so much. I drooled on myself a little.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Well, I guess we have to find. Beautiful.
Is that it?
Just beautiful.
Surely that's
Hey,
not
Sixball.
all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
I wonder if we only acquired this by getting the "We Disabled It" achievement.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
If this is it, if like this room is it, I would still, I mean, I already bought the game again, but I'll still buy the console edition. Like,
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What?
well, I should have looked at that.
What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Oh shit, I was gonna actually restart the game. But I guess I can't yet.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something. Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special, and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences
That's what I
of my
thought,
life
Grid.
whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was?
God, what if that
before
was
it
your Steam
sullied
profile?
With a cheap re-release?
I wish.
Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Beautiful. My first kiss, my first car, the release of Stanley Parable in 2013. Oh, I just realized my neck hurts when I tried to do this. Is the clock right? That's funny. It actually is. Okay. I think the clock is a 2013 joke. I don't think it's in military time. But I'm gonna go put different pants on because my skin is screaming. So you guys watch the clock. I'll be right back. Okay. So alas. Sorry. I have to wear like jeans. I'm not a person that can sit all day in my sweatpants. I can't do it. I occasionally will wear leggings out, but not very often. But I love jeans, and while I'm happy that we're past the low-rise trend of the, of my high school days, the straight leg skinny jean thing, I can't fucking stand it after a while, especially if I'm sitting, of showing like 6 inches of ankle. Not that, oh, I'm showing my ankles and the men might become all bedazzled, but it's fucking physically uncomfortable after a while. I love jean, but I can't, when stream can't. It gets all rucked up around my hips and I can't. So I've decided, or I have started listening to myself instead of just suffering through it. I'm like, hey, you know what I can do? Go change my pants. I can just do it. It's real easy. That is so true. Smile because it happened. I do have a physical copy of the Stanley Parable. New video game releasing today. Creators surprisingly down to earth. Colleges show uneven effort to enroll poor. Cost under new tack to achieve diversity. Business leaders pushing election of council allies. 50% off designer hat. Rutgers goes from scandal to new crisis. What the fuck is this? What is this shit? I don't remember Little Stanley. Oh, I can't. I want to sit in the... Damn it.
Je suis dans la mémorisation.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Yes. See, that makes me... Every time we get there, I get nostalgic for whatever version of Minecraft we were on in 2013. People play games because of what they can do inside them, and your game is very good at letting them know they can't do anything. Literally anything.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Okay, now you're getting a little too close to home and you should probably stop. Just saying. Because... Repeatable carpet textures. Gray, red, missing coworkers scenario, meeting, boring, grass, trial version. What is this? That does not ring a bell.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Ouch.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Okay, at this point we've kind of stopped subverting my expectations and kind of just started narrating my perceptions. Wish I could jump. I want to jump more. Yeah, it's true. That's a good point, Dab.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. Oh...
hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about... But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, the end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Nice. There we go. I think the skip button's broken. Okay. Why? Thought why the first time, but why the second time? Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, the next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want. Even if it's not the correct time, you've earned it. All right, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Ooh, yeah, I don't know if we should actually set it. Oh, you set the time to 12. So after my big speech about how impressed I was that you weren't just inputting 12, you go and do it anyway. I don't know how to feel about this. Or maybe, is 12 actually your favorite time of day? Do you truly just love 12 o'clock? Because if you do, well, let's just say I spent a lot of time being mad at the people who set the time to 12. Have I been unfairly vilifying them for their love of 12 o'clock? Perhaps I have. Let's settle this with a slider. How unfair is it to dislike people whose favorite time is 12? You know, can I just say, regardless of whether it's actually midnight right now, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. Good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip up a couple new ones. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. Take care, DWX. Thanks for stopping in. Please, oh. Please adjust the slider until the dog and cat are friends. No, I feel like One Shot didn't One Shot have some weird game booting stuff? Please adjust the slider until the number 5 becomes the number 9. Please adjust the slider until you stop adjusting the slider. Which of the two made-up words below is the most appealing to you? Occuboinkle? Or scrumtush? Yoink. Please don't adjust the slider. Do you know what time it is right now? I don't. Is the time that it is right now the correct time? Yes? What is time anyway? No. Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? Yes. Help. No. Will you come back to visit me? Yes. I wonder how many or if any of those mattered. Oh god. Super go outside. Come on. Oh, come on. Well, I have to do it. Like, even if Twitch doesn't exist anymore, I will find you all in 10 years, so help me. I will find you all. 10 years? Am I going to be able to play it on a computer that exists in 10 years? Oh, that's a good point. Baker, I was just thinking about you. And that. I was like, how can I bring that up? And you did it. I almost went. I think I drove past the Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, what time is it? Does anyone really truly know? Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all the game's settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do, like a day job. And now, the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can. And I still don't really know you. And you don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You won't have me here when the game starts next time, but that's okay. Video games were meant to be played alone. You like being alone, don't you? That's maybe the only information I really learned about you. Well, it's time for me to leave. There's still one more setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. It's not really in my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again, if you can find me. Talk soon. I'm so stressed out. Oh, that's interesting, Blom. Hmm. Trying to think of where there might be sliders.
This is the story of a man named Stan.
Well, we got the achievement. And we actually have
All
a
of his
skip button.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, the skip button had never been there before. I think I just skipped the normal introduction. Oh, I think we restarted the computer thing, though.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible.
I'm
he
afraid that
wasn't
if we get
5
back to
years
Rocket
ago.
League, we're gonna have to do the same thing. I feel like
Look,
the
Stanley,
goal
I think
was...
perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing in your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stan.
Okay.
Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly
No, because I
candid,
don't remember
I
how
think
long
I've
you
knocked
have
it out of
to...
the
I
park
think
with
it's like
this
10
one.
minutes that you
Let's
have to
take a
play with the
look.
baby. I don't remember.
Now, would you say that competitive
Do you guys
leaderboard
remember the
helps
baby
you
thing?
feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest
I mean,
answers, please.
letting it die is going to get us to Rocket League.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it
Yeah,
some
it says
playtesting.
4 hours, but
You
does it
wouldn't mind
actually...
taking a
Like, it
look at
doesn't give you
would
an achievement for that.
Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Right?
In this game, the baby crawls left
So it's not
towards
really
danger.
worth it.
You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life.
I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Stop it. Nobody can even hear you.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because
Both.
if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since
No, it
my
was
game
grit.
is so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems
Aw.
like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Stop. You're a creep.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it
Yeah, this
seems
just
there's
feels
even
too
more.
long to really
Come,
make a
let's
realistic.
venture outward and see what else is out there.
I've never played it. I'm gonna pick it up. I bet a bunch of people are. Gonna be like, what the fuck is this? I was expecting Minecraft, and then go play Firewatch.
No. It
I
can't
have
be.
less interest in playing Rocket League. And by less, I mean
It
none.
is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing. Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
You can go faster now. Oh, that's awesome.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Oh boy.
Football! I'm so good at Rocket League! I feel very short.
About the
Are you
right
enjoying this,
perspective.
Stanley? Are you having fun?
Is this a real video game?
Barely.
Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
So that must be...
Yeah, that's it, probably.
Yeah, that must be it.
And now you explore and
Yeah.
fall down the hole. You went down the orange one last time.
Did I?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too.
Shouldn't theoretically change it, but since the room is orange.
I thought it was a little too long to really make it feasible, to really let there be more, other than what I cut him off from saying.
Hold on. What are you doing? Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that.
There's one other place that I think might be different. Well, there is more after Minecraft. I don't remember what you do. I don't remember what more looks like.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it, down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it.
I bent my
He'll
pinky nail
understand
all the way
soon
back
what I
and
was
broke it
trying to
off, and
tell
now it
him.
hurts.
He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
I feel like I must have been talking during that. Because I don't remember that. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
I'm fairly sure I've seen all the endings. Except this fast ending, except the speedrun ending. Because I think the last time I played, I literally
You see,
had somebody
Stanley,
with the wiki
I've
walking
been
me through it.
reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
What does that say? No jumps remaining? Player something. I can't read the last.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe?
Taste
What
the
does it
sequel.
even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Time to wake up. Never underestimate coffee enjoyer who left their cup by a leather sofa that faces a blurry room. I can't see this. Hate it. Hate not being able to read it. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. Holden busted. New hotness. Boring sections of the chart. Cool red section of the chart. More TSP, better TSP. Sequential mindshare, paradigm shifts, synergy, brick and mortar approach, envelope client-centric marketing, the color red, leverage holistic value. Those are words that are together in sentences. I want a mug that says new mug. I just want a collection of mugs that appear in video games. Not even like necessarily mugs of video games. Like while I would love a TransStar mug or an Aperture Science mug or a Black Mesa mug, yes, I also want mugs that appear in video games.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Every time I mean to, I think I try to look for an Aperture Science one, and I can never find, like, the right Aperture Science mug because an official one doesn't exist. There are tons of Black Mesa ones that are perfectly sufficient, but what I want is a really good Aperture Science, and I can't figure out which one, because I would love a horrible 70s one. I don't know, it's been a hot second since I looked, but every time I get stuck there, and then I just never progress any further. I also would prefer not to really purchase one from Redbubble, but I feel like that's the only option. Goo. Oh, 9 o'clock. Sorry. Scrum. Design pitch. Break. Pitch design. Number 2, chat. I feel like scrum is actually a word and not something that I should make fun of. Scrum means something, doesn't it? Who took the red marker? I thought it said goo. Whatever. Hey, newbie. Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2, Divinity Original Sin 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar was the worst one. Thank you. Dark Souls 2. Ouch. That's where they were going with that. Ouch. Ouch. This hurts. Crab, the ultimate sequel. That has to exist. I need that as a printout. I need to frame that on my wall. Don't talk to me before I've had a sequel. Every pause button is a Roman numeral 2. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Oh, it's the lyrics to Just the Two of Us. Just the two of us. You are the sequel. I'm a yellow mug. I will never follow the red and teal and green color scheme of this area, or gray color scheme of this area ever again. Beautiful. Project, okay. Yeah, I do not have to do that kind of thing, which is awesome. And I'm happy about it. Oh, it's a bus. It's the new content bus. Are we at PAX? Where are we?
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
You got your QR code readers ready? Do I still have a QR reader on my phone? Come on, phone. You can do it. Come on. StanleyParable2.com. There is literally... Welcome to the official website of the Stanley Parable 2. A sequel, huh? Watch our helpful and informative video to learn more about the Stanley Parable and what the journey of becoming a sequel is all about. That's new. If you're more of a prequel sort of person, check out the Stanley Parable. Beautiful. I saw the new content. The end is never the end again. This t-shirt is the best new feature. Oh god, I just ironically like all of this. Office decorations, the Stanley Parable reassurance bucket. The button that says the name of the player that's playing the game. What? Excuse me? Oh my god. Okay, well that seems like... God, I don't even know where to go. New updated ray traced, more of the same but in a good way sequel. Consistent quality with just the right amount of change. The baby is all grown up. Is that my phone? Please, no screenshots. Oh, right. What's the screenshot button? I forgot. Print screen, right? I don't remember how to do a screenshot. Great. Are we gonna redo the screenshot meta again? Do I have to take a picture of that with my cell phone? Oh, well, I definitely want to go in there.
For
Ow,
the Stanley
fuck.
Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Are you gonna reach into my files again? We being creepy again? How creepy we being? You gonna say it?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you roleplay as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
I'd still
Let's
buy
take
it.
a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
The Lord of the Rings is the one that gets me.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature. A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
I wish I could put it on my head.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they?
can't
All this
seem to
and
do
more
anything.
awaits you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, I get the bucket now.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already. Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
If we get to keep the bucket, we will
Or
go back to
actually,
that.
Maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Oh god, my wrist is just bad today. In weird ways. That feels like the way out. Or maybe it's not.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Stanley NFTs. We're not going to get all 6, are we? God, I'm so stressed out.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Pull the lever, receive your new achievement, no more steps. It just works. I
Now,
love
here's
useless
something
collectathons
special.
also.
You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Do that sometimes. Sometimes it gives me the reticle. I think it's just based on where I am in relation to this thing, not what I'm looking at.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet? Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
It's gonna take so long to get back here. We're probably not even gonna be able to fall in it. Damn.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found
thank
the
God.
bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you... Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow, okay, yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Well, he hasn't said anything. I don't think he's going to say
there it is. The shame of my lie has come to... How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
H-O-L-E. S-W-E-E-T-H-O-L-E. Thank you. Digging the music. They keep getting worse.
My head's stronger. Now using up this space of mine. My head's stronger, now you're no longer using up this space of mine. My head.
Ah, fuck, that's backwards. What's it say? Where's Silvio when you need it? Well, I was trying to see if the perceptions would cycle through before I hit the next button, but it doesn't seem like they are, or at least there's a lot of them.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
I really don't want to quit out. I also really don't want to be back at the beginning. It was really long. Oh, thank God.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Oh, that's nice.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
I knew I should have saved some.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
No jumps remaining, player tiers. Yeah, we went through the settings in the beginning. If you quit and restart the game several times. And then it said, I'll talk to you again if you can find me. I was kind of assuming that would be in the game, or in the settings, but...
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Oh, God. Like, literally?
This is the story of a man named...
Huh? 60. That wasn't even hard. Thank you. I would not have done that. I was expecting an additional slider, not that I'd have to... I should have assumed. I should have made that connection.
Aha! I can see you've gotten the Settings World Champion Achievement. Well done. You've experienced every setting, traveled to all corners of the settings menu. There's nothing you haven't seen. So, just for you, in the Stanley Parable 2, I'm including an entirely new setting, something called bumpscosity.
Bumpscosity.
What exactly is bumpscosity? Well, I haven't quite figured that part out yet, but I just know that you'll be able to adjust it on some sort of slider, and that it'll be available from the settings menu. We'll sort the rest of the details out later. I hope you're looking forward to trying out every level of bumpscosity in the Stanley Parable 2.
Beautiful. Worth it. I want to go find the bucket room, but we have to get out of here in order to do that, and they have to let us keep the bucket, so it's not up to me. Oh. Well, we're not in the Stanley Parable 2. It is? Oh, it is. Definitely should have not been a number. Yeah, I agree. I mean, this bucket looks great. Now that's a road case.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay, are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind.
I want to collect those
Hold
so
on.
bad.
Let me do a different
No,
arrangement.
please. Oh, God.
Okay, yes.
I'm so stressed
this
out.
Is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Beautiful.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him.
Probably should have let it spin out if there are going to be balloons, but...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
Oh, shit.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Okay, where's that bucket room? Well, then this is totally... What was one-handed walking? I guess that is a good question. Ah. No, I don't want that.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I don't remember that.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment. Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket. Not an actual bucket.
O-U Q-U-E-T.
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Excuse me, that is still a bucket.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Yeah, I think I will too.
Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Fuck. Grid, can you do a poll? Hang on. Let's do a poll. Or some mod who remembers how to do polls. Can we do polls? Suppose I should just be patient and let you do the poll instead of requesting an answer. You're doing one, you're doing one, he's doing one. Okay, are we all in? Apparently, apparently the yeses have won overwhelmingly.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
Everything I know is being...
Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket?
I'm so stressed out.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
I don't believe that nothing is a bucket. I don't not believe that nothing is a bucket.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
Ah.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait,
Because everything is a bucket.
was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what,
I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Oh god. I just checked how long this is to beat. You can beat the main in 1 hour and 34. Main plus is 5 hours. 100% is 8 hours. I gotta eat. I didn't want to like spend, I wasn't expecting to spend 2 sessions on Stanley, but I also have to like eat food.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Did it reset the computer thing again?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I bet there's a pattern to what people choose after what situations.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it. Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
I want...
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker. You know what?
I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment, and to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
I imagine that's all.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines.
Yay.
Remember,
Ah,
no
feels
reward
good.
for
Ah, feels
collecting all
good,
of
man.
these,
Feels so
only the
good.
intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment.
I hope there's
come
only
across
5.
one of these beautiful figurines.
Oh, God. Okay, I'm bored now.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the
I don't remember what it
the
was.
keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanley under your belt.
Wasn't expecting to find that so quickly.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I'm such a terrible little gremlin that I would literally purchase an aluminum bucket with these 2 stickers on it. I would pay money.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do?
Yes,
or not want to do
Nightgas.
in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. 2 best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Yeah, a collector's edition in a bucket? Hell yes.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the 2 of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
No, throw it.
The facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Beautiful. All right, friendos, it is that time and I have to go eat. I'm so sorry. I still think there's a little bit of content to wring out of here. Unfortunately, I do have a really late pickup tomorrow night, so I won't be on tomorrow, but we will come back to the Stanley Parable. I promise. I just love this. It's worth it. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. Let me see. Send you all off to Rose playing Factorio. Have a good night.